Destination Wedding is a pretty interesting film. This was released in 2018. It's directed and written by Victor Levin, and we have a cast including Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves. Almost exclusively Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves. They play Lindsay and Frank, two people who are going to this destination wedding. And it's basically about them meeting, them spending time together, the dialogue between the characters against the wedding backdrop. We basically spend no time with any other characters. Obviously, there are other people there, it's a wedding, but it is solely focusing on them. They have the only dialogue. I can't remember if anybody makes an offhand comment here and there, but I'd say 99%, if not 100% of the dialogue comes from those two characters. And that seems like if it was not done correctly, it could become really stale really quickly. But actually, it's really fascinating. And it's just so interesting. I think because it feels very realistic. Now, things can be realistic and not interesting, but I was really buying into their journey. I was really buying into the characters. I was really believing what I was watching. That's not to say I was exceptionally excited by anything that was happening, but I was interested and I was keen to see what they would do with this. And usually with films, I prefer a stronger narrative, a bigger thrill, more interesting character development and things. But obviously this takes place over a short space of time and we don't have that much character development apart from the development of their relationship. But for me, it's just so fascinating to see that they're able to have so few characters and really make it work. And we have some obviously varying locations. We have some really great camera work. According to IMDb, and I didn't fact check this, but apparently it was only filmed in 10 days, which if that's the case, well, put it this way, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it was filmed in less than 2 weeks. It doesn't feel like it was a rushed job. The narrative works well, it flows well, the pacing is very good, the characters are great, the variety of locations are great, we have a lot of outdoor scenes that look brilliant. According to IMDb, this is filmed in, let me check, it's filmed at the airport in California. That's the only information I have for where it was filmed. If anybody knows where the filming locations are, please feel free to let me know. But visually, it does look beautiful. It does look really pleasant. So it's different to the kind of films I usually enjoy. As I said, I usually look for a much stronger narrative, but it still works. I think that it's a rather enjoyable experience, and if it sounds like a film for you, then I'd say it's worth watching. I do have to ask myself, if it were not Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves, let's say it was two actors who were equally as talented, but I'd never heard of them, would I have enjoyed it as much? Maybe not quite as much. I am willing to admit that I love Winona Ryder, and I like Keanu Reeves as well. So that certainly appealed to me. Watching them perform together was an absolute joy. Had it been two actors I'd never heard of, regardless of how talented they would be, I still wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. But it still would have worked. It would have worked as well. But I am very willing to admit that there is an element of bias there because I love Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves is brilliant. So all things considered, I thought Destination Wedding was a pretty interesting experience. I wasn't sure if I'd love it or not once I kind of realised what was happening, but I did. I really enjoyed it. I doubt I'd watch it again, but as a one-time watch, it was a little different, a little interesting, and ultimately, I'm happy to recommend it.